My job's to educate and teach my people. It's not to say food's not important. It's not to make myself obsolete. It's just to help them understand that this is, no matter how good or how bad you are, this is a pathway we should exploit because it'll make you better, you know?
Mhm.
And that's it. That's why I never want to be obsolete to my clients. You know, why I care for somebody day one changes when I care for them 6 months in or 1 year in or 5 years in. You know, I have people that tell me, like rough, rugged, big guys that will sometimes open up to me and just say, and these aren't one-off stories. This is regular. And they'll just be like, Zev, bro, like getting adjusted has been, I'm going through so much family stress or emotional stress right now, man. And this just helps me so much. Like they'll say random and I'll be like, wow, man, thank you. It does for me too. I have clients, obviously I take care of so many people. So it's like every day, James, like no joke, bro, every day. Sometimes I'm definitely sensory overloaded, but by the end of my night, I have seen a young athlete, an old athlete, a corporate guy, a coach, a doula. I've seen someone who just lost a family member, someone who just had a baby, all in one day, every day from start to finish, every human emotion possible, you know? And it's like, they'll tell me, oh, I needed to get adjusted because I've just been nursing for 4 hours in the same positions and I'm all glued up. And I'll have someone who will come in later and say, man, I've been at the hospital all day. My aunt's passing away. I'm so stressed. I needed this adjustment. See, what they know, what they're saying, whether it's emotional, because we all know it's not just orthopedic issues that drive pain. There's the physical, but there's emotional, there's environment, there's all those factors that are influencing the nervous system and driving pain because of the way we are built. So whether they say it to me or not, if someone's been in the hospital and they're caring for someone, a loved one who's passing away, that emotional stress is driving that pain, you know? And they just know, they're associating me to that process, that I will reduce that stress, whether it be because they feel stiff or they just know emotionally they're at that tipping point. They know the adjustment will release that. And I also know, because I've lost my mom and dad, and the only thing that made me involuntary sigh when I didn't want to do anything else was the adjustment. And I remember getting adjusted the day I lost my mom, and it made me breathe for like 2 minutes. And then a flood of cortisol came right back in. It didn't change the situation. All I'm saying is it allowed me to go, and then the emotion came back, you know? But having, like Herbert Benson says, strategies in place that I can do and tap into regularly to minimize the stress and the allostatic load will then keep me fresh and reduce my chances of cancer later on in life, right? So it's not about the magic bullet. It's about knowing I'm going to James after work. I'm getting adjusted at some point. I'm eating good. I'm doing all these things in 1 week, right? Strategy that help reduce that load so my nervous system can adapt correctly. Because we know all these adaptations, if you're not doing things because of habituation, are not, you know, the body's smart, but they don't serve us long term. Like you said earlier, you know, scar tissue leads to more immobility. So it solves the problem now, but it makes us less mobile, which means our senses become less, which means we heighten pain easier, which, you know, that cascade. So, you know, it's like the body's smart, but we need to help, you know?
Yeah. I like that you brought up again, like the pain that you're experiencing may not be physical, because I try to address this with my clients, one that just lost his mom after like a year-long battle with cancer and such. And I've noticed it too. It's where all of a sudden his Achilles will start flaring up or his elbow starts to hurt. I'm like, brother, maybe this is not just biologic. Like, I don't think anything's wrong with you. You do everything. You eat right. You sleep well. You exercise daily. It's like there's more to this. And by kind of not addressing it, how you get the adjustments and the emotions there, that's something I've had to deal with throughout both pregnancies with Jade too. It's like you get scary type of thoughts, and instead of just trying to suppress food, which is, I think a lot of people tend to numb out, it's feel it. You need to feel it in order to heal it. It's cliche. It sounds gay, but it's kind of what it is.
But bro, you know how many, like, it's right in front of our face, but you know how important it is to have people like you in people's face, reminding them, being on the phone with them, texting them. Like, it's not that you're the only one with the answer, but medicine isn't saying that. Providers where people go to when things don't work well over time, They get told to take something, like you said, to numb and dumb. And here you are helping someone. It like sometimes it doesn't seem so valuable because it's so available to all of us. But that's what's so great is we're having someone go, bro, I don't think this is biological. Like you need to feel this and it's okay to feel it. Like great therapists talk about, and sometimes, I would argue like, unfortunately, I've had a lot of life experience in the wrong ways to mature faster than my age. And I have noticed that when I'm in the gym moving my body, when I go to the hive sometimes and I got headphones on, I'm working through a stress more than I am trying to get a six pack. And that place, I've told even Andy that I'm like, there's something about me going there, even if I'm on the turf, just laying down. It's a place where it helps me emotionally process. So it's like we talk about nature, go to the beach, not because the beach, the sand is healing, even though it's nice, getting in environments that allow you to be truthful with your emotions and work them out help. And I think the gym is one of them, and being around someone like Coach James, if I know when I'm around him, something about me just opens up to be real with myself. And when I walk out, the healing then begins. Like I would argue the healing isn't when you're bringing them through the movement. The healing's as they leave you, not during you, mm-hmm. Like sometimes people think if you're doing an Achilles move or an ankle move, with them and doing some groundwork or, some balance work or something, that immediately when they get off the Bosu ball or they're doing something, their ankle should be good. No, it's after the work is done, the body's going to do what it needs to do. Right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm definitely not a buyer in of it's just physical. I think I would assume most people are woke to the idea of how much emotion drives pain. Because of how we're wired, because of the inflammation that comes from those emotions, sympathetic dominance. That's why. I mean, we have answers for it biologically. We stay in that stuck fight or flight state. We don't have things that take us out of it. We get vasoconstriction. We get shortening of the fascia. We get stiffening of the joints. We get less ATP, less methylation, less of everything, more of the bad, less of the good. And that stimulates nociception. Your body doesn't say, oh, I'm going to give him a get out of jail free card. His mom just passed. Its job is to relay that, right? Like it doesn't.
Yeah, pain is a message.
It's a message, and that's why, the word that you're saying is it hurts, but we have to be truthful and try to work through it. So we have less pain. Obviously that's the day-to-day stuff, but it doesn't cause cancer later because we know that's where it's really going is that chronic stress state,